all surprising. Guess what? I have changed up my Monarch nursery once again. There's tree workers in the neighborhood, so you get to hear power tools. It's super exciting. Anyway, I can't even, I don't even know what video number this is of how many times I've changed up what I do when or how I go about raising and releasing my monarchs. But this one is because of Hurricane Eta, because I had to move everything in. I had that outdoor nursery set up out here, and I had to move them all in. And then once I had them all in there, I kind of decided I liked how they were just kind of free in there in the whole Florida room. Like, the garden room is now their nursery, and they stay put. They stay on the milkweed, and so I'm just going to kind of leave it that way and see how it goes. So this video is kind of about the process of me putting that all together. So at the end, I do a rundown of the steps that I use to maintain, raise, take care of, and release my monarchs. So if you want to see the whole thing kind of like in a sequential order, wait to the end where I do my recap, and then you can like jot it all down from there. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy this video, and yeah, thanks. When we moved all the milkweed in here for the storm that we thought was coming, and just to prepare to be safe, I decided, I kind of like having it in here, and so I moved all the milkweed to a spot that gets excellent sunlight, so it's like it's outside, and I'm just letting the caterpillars stay on it here loose and not in another enclosure. I think being out more open provides a fresher, more healthy environment for the plants and the caterpillars, and they're still getting sunlight as if they're outside, but they are in the garden room and they're protected from predators. So I'm loving having it like this. We'll see how it goes. So when I take the milkweed that's been all eaten down out, I cut it all the way down, and that helps reduce the chance of any OE spores remaining and infecting future caterpillars. So I will move him first, and then I will cut it all back. Okay, I safely transplanted him. So I'll cut these way down, and then this plant will go back out into my recovery nursery where it can regrow, and I will throw away all of these stems. So if they are infected with OE, they are not going to get the chance to spread it any further. All right, so here's the milkweed all set up. I've got it up off the ground. I put it on these milk crate bins, and it's in little containers, so when I water them, it won't get water everywhere. And I have spares of all these containers, so I can switch them out when they get full of frost, take the dirty ones out, hose them out, let them dry, and just keep switching them out. So we're all set, and everybody's settled in, and I've just brought my mister out because I'm just going to mist them so they get the feeling like they're outside. Okay, they're all nice and misted off, freshened up, and happy little munchers. Another thing I do to maintain my monarch nursery is I have to clean the enclosure regularly. And I will take the tree out, and I will take the enclosure and spray it all down with bleach and let it bake in the sun, and then hose it off again. And this is to kill any OE spores or parasites or other things that will give caterpillars a disease and either make them not survive or have the monarchs come out unable to fly. And that has to be done quite regularly in order to stay on top of the disease before any of those get a chance to set in. So here it is out here, all sprayed down with bleach, and I'm just letting the bleach sit on it and do its job and kill anything that does not need to be living in there. And then I will rinse it out really good with the hose and let it air dry. So the garden room's getting put back together. I've got my Bahama Senna back over here with its chrysalis intact, and I've got some flowers set up, and here's the milkweed full of caterpillars, and here's a mess, and then here is the clean, all bleached out and freshened up Monarch Nursery with one chrysalis in it, so hopefully we'll get some more. Good morning. So every morning when I get up, I get ready for work, and then I come spend a little bit of time out in my garden room and my garden. And I come out and I check on my milkweed. You can see right back here, that one's like needing some attention. So I'll switch out and I'll bring in fresh milkweed, and then I will take out the ones that are all cut down, eaten down to sticks, and I will take those out and snip them all the way down and put them in my secret milkweed garden where they'll get some fertilizer and some good sunshine and have the opportunity to grow back to become food again. I also check on my nursery where my chrysalides are, which right now only have one chrysalide left, and I see that I have one Monarch, and I also just moved my orange barred sulfur chrysalis in there, so when it ecloses it'll be safe in the enclosure and easier for me to catch it and release it. So I'm going to show you the milkweed. When I take a milkweed out, if there's any caterpillars on it, I'll take them off and I'll transfer them to the new milkweed that I bring in. You hear that noise? You hear that? That's my husband making a smoothie. Yeah. But it's nutritious for him. He makes these super healthy smoothies in the morning, so good for him. But that's what that was. Okay, so I'm going to turn the camera around and I'm going to show you what the milkweed looks like this morning. Okay, so you can see this one right here needs to be switched out, and it's got a lot of hungry caterpillars just chilling out, hanging there. And then this one's looking pretty good. I just put this one in yesterday, and then the ones up here need switched out. And look what's going on right here. Just what I had hoped. The J hanging is happening. And that's what I want. I want them to just crawl around free and J-hang. I think they'll stay pretty close. And also what I predicted in my mind when I did this is I thought they would love this little white shelf here that has my blue glass. And look, they do. There's one there. And there's one over here too that is J-hanging. So I think this is going to be a good thing. I haven't caught any caterpillars roaming around where they shouldn't be. They're all staying near the milkweed. And so I'm loving this. And I love just coming sitting out here and watching them and not having to unzip an enclosure, or, I mean, they're just right here. Very close to being outside. So far, so good. We'll see how it continues. Yesterday I was really low on milkweed, so while I was working, I got my daughter and I told her she had to go down to Peterson's and get me some more milkweed. So she did. She came home with these guys and they're looking really good. Actually, 2 of them had caterpillars on them. So I have them sitting out here, but I'm going to give them a good hose down just to be sure. This one right here is not from Peterson's. This is an old one I took out of the nursery. And I brought out here to just get it freshened up. But these ones are from Peterson's. I'm going to hose them down real good. Even though Peterson's purchases milkweed that is not treated with pesticides, there's just been so much stuff going on with the monarchs lately and all the groups I'm in. I just want to be on the safe side. I'm not going to use bleach. I'm just going to give them a good rinse off in case they've managed to collect something. And then they'll be ready to go, and I'll trade these ones in for the ones that I'm going to be taking out. I'm just going to give you a peek. This is the secret milkweed recovery garden, and it's like hidden right behind my nectar garden. So those babies are all coming back. And then I'll walk out to my milkweed garden and I'll check and see if I can find any more little guys out here who I can move inside so they can grow up safely and have the opportunity to become butterflies. So I look for leaves that have, chewing on them, and usually the caterpillars are on the underside. So like on this big tall one, I can gently kind of flip it over like that without breaking the stem and just peek. I'll just come out and peek and see I've got some yellowing leaves. I'll just plop those off. And just peek, see if I find anybody. I don't see anybody there. Oh, look. There we go. See? So I will take this little guy in and put him on my milkweed inside. And that's what I do in the mornings. And I'm going to go keep checking and see if I find anybody else. Okay, so I found these 3 little guys. So I'm going to go move them inside and put them on the milkweed. And I'll take all the plants out of the containers, and then I'll take them out and rinse them out and get all the frost out to freshen them up. And look at all the frost that's in on the shelf. So I'll bring my little Dyson vacuum out and just get that all cleaned up, and that'll be wonderful. And look, there's my 2 J hangers. And here's the new milk we brought in. Caterpillars are settling in on it. And this one is all snipped back, ready to go out and grow again. Then I've got this little one in here that it's not quite warm enough to put it out yet. And I usually wait until I see other butterflies in the yard and then I'll come out and release them. So when my students get on their lunch break, I can come out here and let this one fly. So here I am back on my break, and I've got this little butterfly, and I'm gonna let it go. It's ready to go. There we go. It's a girl. She's beautiful. And there she goes. So here we go. It's the next morning. I'm coming out first thing to check, and the plants are still in good condition, but look what's happened over here. Good things are happening, right? Look, there's a chrysalis, and this one, there's a chrysalis, and there's the other one back there. So we had a pretty big cold front come through. It's pretty chilly this morning, and I'm kind of glad to know these guys are all tucked in safe in here. So look at them all snuggled up together. So this is working out well. Hey y'all, thanks for making it to the end of this video. And now I'm gonna do my quick recap of the steps I go through to maintain my monarch raising, butterfly releasing, caterpillar taken care of setup. All right, so first, usually I come out in the morning and I will remove any milkweed that has been eaten up down to sticks. I will put any caterpillars that happen to still be on there onto some fresh plants, and I chop it down. I chop it down and I throw away the stems, and I put it in my secret garden to recover and grow back to be food again. I clean up the frass with my Dyson, or I bring out the bins and hose them out. Whatever I need to do, I get the frass cleaned up, because it's not healthy for the caterpillars to be crawling around and living when there's so much frass around. And I also get it out of the plants. I'll shake it out of the leaves and get it out of the base of the plant as well. If there's any caterpillars that are like really, really large and healthy looking, and I think they're close to pupating, I will put those on the milkweed that's closest to the white shelf, because then they'll be kind of right there in a good place to crawl over and pupate. And that's real. I really prefer them to do it, even though they're going to do wherever they want to do it. Okay, then when that's all done, everything's clean. I got fresh milkweed in there. The old milkweed's brought out. Everybody's relocated. We're all good. I'll come out. I'll go through my milkweed garden and I'll hunt for new little caterpillars to bring in. I do not bring in eggs. That's my own personal preference. There is nothing wrong with raising them from eggs. I just prefer to bring them in as caterpillars. And then I'll take those in and I will distribute them across the milkweed plants, putting them, try and space them out so there's not too many caterpillars on each plant. Then I will check and see if there's any chrysalises that have formed in my milkweed area on the shelves or anywhere. And I make sure they've been there for a day or two, so I know they're good and solid and stable to be relocated. And I'll relocate those to the chrysalis tree in the nursery. And they will hang there until they eclose. And if I have any monarchs that have eclosed, I will release those. Now, usually I'll do that later in the day when it's a little warmer. I always wait till I see other butterflies flying around my butterfly garden, and then I know it's a good time to release them, and I will come out and release those guys. So that's it. That's it. Just regularly keeping fresh milkweed, cutting it all the way down when I take it out and let it regrow every time. There's always something going on in the neighborhood, but that's what's so awesome about this neighborhood is people are always outside doing stuff. It's great, and it's so beautiful today, so I can't blame them. I wish I could be out all day too, but I can't. But I'm just on my lunch break. Running out and filming. So we'll see how long this setup lasts. I like it. It's my favorite so far. The last one I had was the outdoor, but we're coming into some cooler weather, and now I don't have to worry about them being out there. And honestly, with them in here, it'd be real easy if there's going to be a cool night that I could throw an enclosure over them, and then I could cover it with sheets or a blanket, keep them all nice and warm in there. So I feel like I'll be able to take good care of them for now. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching to the end. And please subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. And most of all, have a fabulous day. Thank you. See you in the next video.